Ladies and gentlemen, can I please have your attention? I've just been handed an urgent and horrifying news story. And I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
What is going on, Canes fam? I am MattyIcee, he is Caniacs, and this, my friends, is Canes Call-In. Caniacs, how you doing tonight, man?
I am doing good. How about you, man?
Oh, I'm feeling great, man. Coming off that win last night. I'm on the moon, feeling good about this team, really proud of our guys, and just ready, man. I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm excited too. I mean, not only did we beat them, I mean, we beat them pretty convincingly yesterday.
Yeah, I don't think the final score was like really indicative of like how close the game was, but jeez, man, I love to see it. I love to see it. And honestly, I freaking hate Bruce Pearl. I think he's a douche, and like I'm so glad we beat him. I don't know if you saw that meme I posted earlier.
I did. That was
Coach
funny.
L photoshopped as the dad holding the little baby that's Bruce Pearl. I don't know, man.
Funny as hell.
I've kind of heard some things about him, and I just don't like him. You know, as a person, he's a good coach, but just not a fan, man. Not a fan at all.
Understood.
Yeah. But anyways, man, how you been? It's been what, like a month-long hiatus, maybe even longer?
No, we haven't been off for a month, have we? It's only been a few weeks.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. It feels like a long time.
It feels like it's a long time, man. Just busy, bro. Working. You know, dealing with that other crap I got to deal with. So, plus I'm trying to get my Twitch back up going for the gaming again. So I'm gonna do that all over. So yeah, just busy, man. Working. Got my car fixed. Been working on that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I took it to the shop. I had a front caliper. You know, it was leaking, so I took it into the shop. They said, no, I mean, I had a leak because I just got it out of the shop. I thought it was an oil leak. So I turned it in. It wasn't an oil leak. They said it was my front caliper leaking. So instead of saying anything, they just changed it. And then they're trying to tell me that they couldn't find one, that it was difficult to find one, this, that, and the other thing. So, I mean, I've done this before. I've changed calipers. I've changed brakes, the whole 9 yards. So I found one immediately after they told me they couldn't find one for $60. They wanted to charge me $400 to do that. I'm like, you're crazy. Give me my car. Let me fix it. But other than that, man, I've been doing good.
Jeez, man.
Yes.
I'm going to charge you an arm and a leg, son.
Everybody.
I ain't with that. I know, man. I'm dreading it. I got to get new tires. So I'm like, that's an expense I'm not ready to do.
Yeah, but true. I mean, they can't screw you with tires, though. You know, it's.
Well, I know. I'm just saying, like, you're going to see me sliding down the freeway.
That's funny as hell. Oh my God,
but yeah,
that's
man.
Great.
I don't know, man. Honestly, I've been embracing the March, man. March Madness.
Nice.
I was born into this, man. Born in March, so I'm part of this craziness that is March Madness, and it's been a good one so far, man. I don't know. I know you don't follow it as much. But man, I'm a huge fan of the St. Peter's Peacocks. Took down Kentucky, and then they beat Murray State. They play Purdue next. I'm pulling for them, man. If they're not playing my team, I'm going for the lower seed.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and the major storyline, man. ACC got 3 teams still in it. A lot of people have been critical of the ACC, including me.
Right.
I'll say it first.
No, you were. You're
I
right.
was critical. I don't think that the ACC was as deep this year, but I mean, showing those top tier teams, hey, they're doing something, and there's a lot of people saying, hey, maybe Wake Forest should have been in the tournament, and I agree with them. So
right, because how many SEC teams are still
6.
competing?
Oh, are in it?
Yeah, are still in the hunt.
Yeah. So yeah, I got into some Twitter beef over a guy that said the SEC has been so good, and Auburn's had a grueling schedule against these SEC teams that all apparently lost in the first round. Alabama lost in the first round, Kentucky lost in the first round. I'm trying to remember who else lost in the first round, but there's only one SEC team remaining in the Sweet 16 out of 6.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, 3 out of 5, or no, I'm sorry. Wait, yeah, 3 out of 5 ACC teams are in the Sweet 16. So, and ACC,
but apparently Auburn didn't show up.
Yeah, well, I mean, they didn't. They looked terrible. And I think that's a lot to do with us defensively. We were swarming all over the place. It was like it was a great, performance, honestly, and it was really. I was so proud of those guys, man. Honestly, and I think we should get right into it, man. Let's talk about that Auburn game. Yeah. So, like you mentioned, I don't know if you saw this before we get into like the actual breakdown. One of Auburn's players, Zed Jasper, he had a comment, basically saying, oh, he was asked about Miami's dynamic offense, right? And he basically said, well, they play in the ACC, we play in the SEC. Different levels to this, essentially. They've never seen a defense like us. I think he might have changed his mind after that, because I got to tell you, too, like Auburn looked gassed at the end of the game. They looked so tired. And I think it was our offense and our defense just, laying it to them.
That pressure.
Yeah, it was that pressure. Honestly, we kept care of the ball. Only 2 turnovers. I think on fast breaks we outscored them like 30-1 or something. We forced 17 turnovers. Honestly, like it was just like inspiring to me, honestly. There was an interesting stat that I saw too. Obviously I talk about that 17 turnovers. So in the NCAA tournament, there's 5 players left with more than 60 steals this season. Miami has 3 of them.
Damn.
Charlie Moore, Jordan Miller, and Cam McGusty all have over 60 for the season. One of the guys is actually from Iowa State that has over 60, so we're going to be seeing him soon.
Yeah,
he's a great young player.
Next game, right?
Yeah, that's next game. We'll get into that later, but just wanted to mention that. The thing that I thought was interesting, not interesting, the thing that I was really impressed with was, I knew Jordan Miller was going to be able to, make Jabari Smith's life, difficult for this game, but I didn't know like how effective he would be, because Jabari Smith is going to be like a top 3 player, maybe top 5, top 3, whatever, wherever you have him. And I don't think they were expecting this kind of activity.
Oh, Matt, where'd you go? Matt. Okay, well, we lost Matt. I'm sure we'll get him back in here in a minute. But while he's gone, he is the guru on the basketball. We can talk a little bit about baseball. Here soon, we're going to have Max, the insider from OBB Legend. Oh, and I think we are back. There he is.
Are we good now?
Yeah, I just, filled in.
Yeah, sorry, you guys lost me for a second.
Yeah, it's all good.
Where was I? Oh, so I was just saying, Jordan Miller did a really good job on Jabari Smith. I was really impressed with him. I was trying to remember. I think Jabari was like 3 for 19 or something like that. So he just didn't look comfortable offensively. 3 for 16 actually, 1 for 8 from 3, and he was someone that he was shooting pretty well from 3 during the season. I think he was shooting like 40% or around there. And honestly, this was a game like we were still, I want to say, how much were we up by? There was like 3 minutes left. I think we were up by like 8 or 9. And I just was like, oh man, they're going to bring a run. There's going to be a run or something. But, they did a good job closing it out, taking care of the ball at the end. A couple missed free throws that got me a little worried, but, great defense. The thing I have to say, too, because we haven't talked about the USC game as well. I'm not going to get into that because that was, a while ago. But I think that both games, we made them adjust to how we were playing, right? USC, they started, I think, like 4 guys that are over 6'9", bigger lineup, They came out in the second half with more guards, and they had, relatively more success, and gave us some trouble. But I think part of the reason why we had trouble was because, we relied heavily on Isaiah Wong to score and no one else really got going. But same thing with Auburn, man. We made them adjust to how we were playing. Walker Kessler was on the bench. That was a lot to do with, him getting into early foul trouble, but he didn't really play that much this game. I think he only played like 10, 15 minutes. He had like 2 free throws, but I think that was about it. But yeah, and then the thing that I thought was interesting was they came out of the game with Walker Kessler guarding Jordan Miller, which I thought was I was not expecting that. I thought Jabari was going to be on him and, Walker Kessler was on Sam Wardenberg, but it makes sense. Sam has been more of a consistent, 3-point shooter. We haven't looked at Jordan to really do that, because he's been more of the guy that, cuts along the baseline, gets the open look inside, maybe hits a mid-range shot. So I thought that was interesting. He took the most threes he's taken in I think 10 games. I looked the last 8 games. He's only taken 2 threes. So I thought that was interesting. Obviously he took advantage of it though. He was able to get to the basket. But yeah, I was really impressed with them this game, and we got a dogfight coming on Friday. I'm telling you. Let me get a drink of water, man.
Go ahead, because while we're doing that, let's talk about SeatGeek, our great sponsor, SeatGeek. I know all y'all know what SeatGeek is. It's a ticket buying app, concerts, sporting events, all kinds of stuff. They have one of the best ratings out there. They have a 0 to 10 rating, so you know if you're going to get a good deal or not. So that way you don't get screwed. Some of these other ticket places you go to, you don't know what you're getting. I mean, you could be overpaying or whatever. But at least SeatGeek gets it to where, you know what you're getting. There's no cheating. There's no messing around. There's no nothing like that. Plus, if you use our code KaneCallin, you will get $20 off your first ticket purchase. Plus, you just support the show. It doesn't cost you a thing. So again, SeatGeek, use our code KaneCallin and get your $20 off your first purchase. Also, Absolutely. Don't forget about our boy AB and them over there at All About the Fans. Great site. I just ordered me another Luka to the U sticker because my old one was on my old car that I don't have anymore, so I had to get one for my new car. Had an issue with I had a wrong. It had the wrong shipping address. Emailed them, got a response back immediately, fixed it, no problem. And also, if you use our code KaneCallin, you get 15% off your entire order every single time you use our code while you're there. They also have apparel, shirts, magnets, stickers, the tumblers, pretty much anything you want. And not just Canes related either. That's why it's called All About the Fans. Make sure you go visit them.
Great job, man. That was awesome.
Thank you. I tried.
Yeah, I gotta say too, it helps the podcast, helps us, and it helps you too. You save some money, and you get a great product too.
Yeah.
So this is kind of where I want to steer the conversation, man.
Go ahead.
I was in a Twitter space last night. Try to stay away from those. Besides, there's like a basketball one that I always hit up. That's after the games. Shout out to Cal Friedman. He's the one that usually runs it.
Yeah.
But I was in a Twitter space last night, and there's this narrative that was coming out, and I've seen it on Twitter a little bit, that suddenly our basketball team is turning things around because we have a new athletic director. Shout out Mr. HD. Thanks for coming in, man.
What's up, brother? I appreciate it.
Yeah, so suddenly, because we have a new athletic director, all of the sudden our basketball team is good. I completely and utterly disagree with this, and I think it's a horrible take. I think people forget how good of a coach Larinaga is. the things that he had to go through, that year-long FBI case that, just honestly devastated
no
the
reason at
program.
all.
Yeah, honestly devastated the program. Last year, honestly, we had a tournament team, but all of the injuries we dealt with, oh my God, like we'd only have 6 players, only six scholarship players. We'd have to play, a walk-on. It was not good. And then anytime you have like 6 players playing in a basketball game and it's, a different 6 or 7 guys, you have to look and see, man, the team chemistry is not going to be good. You have guys, taking different roles every night. It's just not, a way to win in the ACC, especially a power conference.
Mm-hmm.
So the thing I just wanted to say, man, honestly, like all credit is due to Coach Larinaga and the players, because after that Alabama game where we got blown out of the water, it was a close game in the first half. He recognized the strength and weaknesses of this team early on enough to change how we play. He recognized we have elite guards. We need to rely on them more, go smaller, force turnovers, create havoc. And that's what he's done. And look where we are in our 4th Sweet 16. And all credit is due to Coach Larinaga and the players as well. Shout out to them and the rest of the coaching staff as well.
Shout out. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, from what we started out at the beginning of the season to where we're at now, as far as our competitive level, how we're playing. I mean, it's just, that narrative's got to go.
Yeah. I believe it was like the first, I want to say like 7 or 8 games. Like we started I think it was like 4-3 or 3-4.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was 4-3. But like after that, we went on that run, I think it was like almost 9-game win streak or something like that. And then the win over Duke and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, like ever since that mark though, that Alabama game, we've been in competitive games or we've won. And, I'm really proud of this team. And also too, like playing in these games where, every possession matters, at the end, in these close games, it helps you in this tournament, and this tournament, like you hear it all the time. It's all about guard play. And that's what we have. We have elite guard play. I can't remember who it is. I think is it John Rossing? That's his name or something. It's a college basketball analyst, but he always posts, he always says, Miami has more guards than Shawshank. And every time I see it, I die. It's hilarious.
That is funny.
But yeah, man, honestly, I'm just super proud of this team. I mean, I think that like even the losses that we have had, obviously he gets a lot of flack for those 2 Florida State losses. One of them was bullshit. We lost on a bullshit call. Absolutely. By 1 point. Both of them were by 1 point. But all the games have been within like 5 points besides like the Virginia game. But that was because of like free throws at the end and you're trying to jack up shots, and stuff.
And the UNC game.
I mean like losses. Yeah, I mean losses.
Gotcha,
yeah. I'm talking about losses. Yeah. No, UNC, like we took advantage of them. The one thing I will say though, I know this is a Miami Hurricanes podcast, but I want to talk about ACC basketball. We're in that conference. North Carolina has really like turned it up at the end of the season. I've been really impressed with them. That's how I thought they were going to play coming into this year. They've had really good guard play. And that's been the key. That's something I don't know if you remember on our preview, it was like, what were they going to get from the guards? And RJ Davis has been playing at an elite level. He had a really good game against Baylor. So, I mean, honestly, going into that UCLA game, my best friend, Brendo, he's a huge UCLA fan and he's nervous. And, I understand that this is a different team than when we played them. Just like, we had that awakening after the Alabama game. This is a different North Carolina team. So, but moving back over to Miami Hurricanes basketball, because we are a Miami Hurricanes podcast. I wanted to talk about the Iowa State game on Friday. I don't know if we'll do another show before this.
Yeah, I don't know if we'll have time.
Probably not, honestly. And I'm working on a student of the game. So I'm going to go more in depth with that. So if you guys are into that, I'll post it obviously and you guys will see it. So please, support that in any way because, We both appreciate it. But Iowa State, man, honestly, I wasn't really sure how to feel about them. I've watched a couple of their games, and I feel like the games that I have seen, I think one of them they had been blown out by Iowa, which is, you know, a rivalry game in itself. But I watched some of the film. I watched their whole game against Texas. I watched their 2 tournament games, at least snippets of it. You know, it's hard when all these games are going on, you know, to watch the entire game, unless it's the Hurricanes. But the thing I got to say is, man, I'm really impressed with their coach. They're a really great defensive team. Probably, I mean, might be the best defensive team that we play, that matches up well with us. But this is a crazy thing. They were 2-22 last season under their old coach, 0-18 in conference play.
Oh my God.
But I mean, they changed things. You know, I have no idea how to say their coach's last name. It's TJ, like old something like that. Olowokandi. Always, I don't know how to say it. Olsenberg. I don't even know how to say it.
Something. Go look it up.
Yeah, but 7 of their top 9 players in minutes played weren't even on the team last season. They're all transfers. Their point guard that I was talking about earlier, Tyrese Hunter, is a freshman. He's someone that, like, he can get hot. He's microwave hot, you know. He's very streaky, but he can shoot it from deep, and he's a really good defensive player. He's very pesky. You know, he gets all over it, gets after it. But just from watching them from like a defensive standpoint, they know where on the court to double team. And honestly, they do a really good job of recovering. I think it's something that, you know, they and Miami have in common. They play the passing lanes really well. They know when to move when like a pass is being made. And they are like, when I say they're right up in your face, they're like right up in your face and intense with it. I think this is going to be a little bit of a different matchup. Because I think we've played against teams that are very good in the defensive interior. So this will be different because this is more of a perimeter, you know, defensive team. They guard the 3 well, and they really look to, you know, force turnovers to create offense. And honestly, it's really hard to get by their guards, just from what I've seen so far. So I would expect more ball movement, more off-ball movement to kind of score here. The one thing I will say is, you know, they're a great defensive team, but they do struggle offensively. They're not a great 3-point shooting team. They shoot 32% per game. That's 263rd in the nation. They're susceptible to turning the ball over. They're 294th in turnover percentage. And, you know, part of that is, you know, they have a true freshman point guard. I think he's a pretty good playmaker, but he can, you know, make mistakes on the court as well. He's still a young guy, you know, and I fully expect, you know, Charlie Moore, someone who's a grizzled veteran, to take advantage of that. But the thing that I think is interesting is they live off of forcing turnovers. They forced 10 turnovers against LSU. Or no, I think, wait, how many was it again? I think that they're averaging 18 turnovers, forcing 18 turnovers per game in the last 2 tournament games. But Miami has taken care of the ball. Only 7 turnovers in 2 games. The past 2 tourney games, their turnover rate was under 5% one time, and then 5%, which is the lowest it's been all season. So like including regular season. So they've done it at an elite level in the tournament when it matters most. So it'll be an interesting matchup to see if they can keep that up, or if, you know, Iowa State is able to make us, you know, force some turnovers. Interesting stat that I saw though too as well. Iowa State is 11-2 when they turn the ball over 11 or fewer times, if that makes sense. And they're 11-10, so just over 500 when they turn it over 12 or more times. So something to kind of look after. They did a really good job against Wisconsin, you know, forcing turnovers, making Johnny Davis's life, you know, difficult. He's a legit guy that's going to be in the NBA next season. But I think too, part of the reason why Wisconsin struggled against them, their starting point guard was out. They didn't really have anyone to fill in. I think their backup point guard was out as well. So Johnny Davis kind of had to take that role, and some other guys that aren't used to doing that. So against the Iowa State, that's a difficult, task in itself. But yeah, I mean, this is going to be a good game, honestly. I wouldn't be surprised if it's super low scoring. I think that I think that they've forced teams like under 55 points the last 2 games in the tournament. But yeah, so I'm excited for this one. I was debating going to Chicago for it.
I know,
but it's just too much. I'm thinking of, honestly, if they win, I'm really, really thinking of going, like just doing a suicide trip real quick.
Do it.
So yeah. But
so let me ask you a question about this upcoming game.
Yeah.
So what is our key? Because I know you watch their games, like 2 full games. So
Yeah.
From what you just watched, what do you think the keys to our game going to be against them? Obviously, we're going to have to limit the turnovers because that's one thing they're good at.
So I think that the most important thing is limiting turnovers. Excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think also the difference, the past 2 games, Isaiah Wong has been really good. He's come into his own, when it really matters in the tournament, 20 plus per game, the last 2 games against USC and Auburn. I think he's going to be a big factor. But with that being said, I think the difference is, like I said, against USC, he came out hot. He scored our first 13, but then our offense kind of dampened after that because, no one else, had really, shot. There wasn't as much, ball movement. And so I think coming out, Wong has to establish himself, but everyone else, has to be ready to score as well. This game against Auburn, Cam McGusty also had over 20. Jordan Miller scored as well. Sam hit a 3 and, had a couple other baskets. So that's, and Charlie Moore too was really, really good, man. Offensively and defensively, I have to give him props. He's been the leader. The point guard is always the leader of the team, no matter what. So props to him, and he's going to be huge in this game too. Can he take care of that matchup against Tyrese Hunter? Because, honestly, the other thing too that I will say is Iowa State, their leading scorer, Isaiah Brock, I think it is. Oh, Brockington, sorry. He's another guy that's a transfer, I think, from Penn State. Averages 17 and a half a game. He likes to slash, get to the basket, relies on ball movement to score. He has a good mid-range shot. He's actually a lefty too. It's going to come down. I think he's going to get his own. He struggled a little bit against Wisconsin, but I think he's going to be good. But what's happened for Iowa State in each game is there's always been another guy that stepped up and scored. So like Tyrese Hunter, the first game, he had I think he had 23 points. He had 7 threes. And then the second game, there was another guy by the name of Gabe Kausher. I don't remember how to pronounce his name. He had 22 points. And like I said, that was a game that Brockington kind of struggled. So he kind of took over that scoring. So, it's honestly what are they going to get from the offensive side of the ball? March is all about who's the unsung hero. I don't want to say that these guys aren't guys, but who's going to, go out of the way and have a performance like that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's what it's really going to come down to. And also too, can we force turnovers? I think this game, we always say, can we force turnovers? Are we going to have turnovers essentially? But this is the biggest game because both teams rely so much on forcing and creating turnovers. And Miami relies so much on not turning the ball over, especially in this tournament. So I think that's it really is going to come down to, honestly. And then also, like I said, they're a really good perimeter defensive team. Can we make some threes to kind of, spread the floor as well? I'm interested to see what they do with Sam Wardenberg and Jordan Miller, how they play them, if they play more off of them. Yeah. So I'm interested in seeing how they do that. I think that Jordan Miller is going to be active too. He's one of the best. He is the best on the team, scoring off ball. So it'll be interesting to see, honestly.
He needs a minimum of 10 points.
Yeah, so we can go over that. So they're now 14-2 when he scores double digits. So take it with what you will, man. But
hey, I want double digits for my boy JM.
Numbers don't lie. Feed him quick. Feed him
That's
quick.
right. Get
No,
him
I'm not
there
gonna
early.
lie. Part of me saw that he had 9. I think he had. Did he have 9 or 10 going into the half? And I was like, I feel good about this against Auburn.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, but no, and honestly too, like I haven't really dove in and looked at it extensively, but their offense, a lot of movement, a lot of off-ball movement, screen the screener. They throw it into the high post to kind of get it started. I think it's kind of their way to spread the floor. Because big man will catch in the high post. Their bigs are relatively decent passers. So that's something that we got to look at too, how we play against that, how we pick where we trap and stuff. Because I think it's going to be a little bit of a different look for us
Right.
defending. But yeah,
Do
man,
they have like
I'm
a big
excited for
man?
it.
I mean, because I know we struggle
They're
with big men.
Yeah, I think we struggle with a certain type of big man. But I think that their two big guys are around like 6'9", 6'8". I know one of
Oh,
them.
dude, we're good then.
Well, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say that, you never know, but
No, but I mean, because like not North Carolina, but one of those guys had a big man that was just swatting, blocking everything we were throwing up there.
yeah, well, North Carolina has Armando Bacot, who's dominant,
That's
but
who
we
it
did a
was. That's
pretty
who it
good
was.
job on him
True.
defensively.
Mm-hmm.
So it's gonna come down to that, and they're gonna score when they're in the half court. Like I said, they struggled, but their ball movement is pretty good. It's just I think that they don't have, like, how do I say this without being like disrespectful? I don't want to be a clip for like an Iowa State. I don't think that they have like dedicated scorers that can just take their man like one-on-one. So when that happens, you run offensive sets, you rely on, screening the screener, getting open looks that way through off-ball movement. So I think that's kind of what they do, and I don't mean that in a disrespectful way at all.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a difference. I gotta say, like, their defense is insane. Their movement and everything, like, they don't get tired. Like I said, Auburn got gassed.
Mm-hmm.
Last game they are not going to get gassed. I've seen like multiple stories about their coach and running through like cardio workouts and stuff, and it's going to be a dogfight. Honestly, I expect it to be.
Good.
So,
As long as we win,
yeah,
I don't
man.
care.
Me too, man. But it's, never
Yeah.
say never. I will
True.
not, celebrate it as a win unless, the clock is gone. And then,
0. Yes, I
yeah.
got
And
you.
my thing has been every time they win, I write them in my bracket, write it down, because I have an unfilled bracket that I fill as the games go on. And then I jump in my pool.
Yeah. See, I know how this don't count your chickens before the eggs are hatched or whatever it is. Because like last night I was watching the Lightning game,
Mm-hmm.
and there was like 5 seconds left. It was even, it was even score. They were getting ready to go into overtime. I got up out of my chair and I'm like, oh yeah, this is going to overtime. Soon as I did, I heard clink. I was like, oh my God. I turned around and they scored on us. We lost. So
Yeah.
I gotta have
And
zeros
honestly,
first.
look at what happened in the USC game. I mean, we were up by like
Oh yeah.
7 or 8. They hit 2 threes, and then all of a sudden, they get the ball back and they had a chance to win it. And that shot looked pretty decent, but you just never know, especially in March, man. Honestly, like
Right.
some of these games have been crazy. Like, I don't know. I know you're not like watching them too much, but like the Arizona TCU game last night was insane. TCU got robbed, man. Should have been a late foul call, but yeah. What's up, Sigmund?
That one didn't bust my bracket because I got Arizona going all the way.
Dude, I'm such an idiot. I
What's up,
forgot.
Sigmund?
I forgot to submit my brackets to all of the groups I was in. I made them, and then I forgot that you have to like physically submit them. But hey, they're looking nice, man. I'm telling you.
Dude,
I had
so
Miami beating
you could have
Auburn.
been nice. I had them losing to Auburn, but I had them up until Auburn.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But
so you had them winning one game?
Yeah, I had them winning one game.
Messed up, man.
It is messed up, but it's March Madness.
I know.
Brackets are made to be busted. That's all there is to it.
That's true, man. I did not care. Honestly, you make the bracket and then you root for the underdog. That's how I see March. I'm rooting for the St. Peter's Peacocks. Jeez, man. I don't know if you saw that. They have this white dude that has like a pencil stash, and like dude's a baller. But there's this like TikToker or Vine, or not Vine, that's been gone for like 10 years.
Right.
Yeah, there's this TikTok of he's a real baller when the team looks like this, and it was like 10 black dudes and then just him in the corner.
That's funny.
But yeah, man, I'm excited, man. I think that we have a great opportunity this Friday night, 10 p.m. Eastern, so it's a late one for you guys in Miami, and Florida in general. So yeah, not for us. Hey, I love it.
And I'll be off in time to sit at home and watch it.
There you go.
Yeah, I can't wait.
I told my friend he's been here for the past 2 games. So the first one I watched with all my buddies, and the second one it was just him that came over yesterday. And I told him, I was like, well, his sister's in town, and I was like, dude, you're not missing this game. You're my good luck charm. I don't know. She might be bad luck. You never know. So
I got you.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
you don't want to ruin the you don't want to jinx the jinx, right?
Bad juju. You never know, man. Exactly. So, but yeah, man. Anyways, I don't know that we got anything else going on, man.
Canes football spring going. I'm sure we'll talk more about that the next one. We'll probably plan on having one probably again next Monday, Tuesday. And then we talk about that. But baseball, man, now if the AD needs to do something, he needs to work on our baseball team, because our coach has made some dumb.
Yeah, obviously that.
I guess I'm going to say it this year. He's made some dumbass decisions this year.
You know what it is? Maybe he doesn't know we have a new AD yet. That's why.
Is that it?
That's why we haven't
Coach
been
L figured it out, but not.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I got you. I see.
Yeah, it makes complete sense, right?
It does. Well, I mean, here's what kills me. Our last series against Clemson, we beat them Friday and Saturday. I'm sorry. Yeah, and then we lost yesterday 20-5. And then just some of the moves, some of the pitching moves he's made, just some of the lineup. I mean, it's just when we have Max on, I'm going to get Tony to call in, or I might even get Tony on, and we can talk more about the baseball. We may even just have a baseball special, because, man, it's just bad. It's just bad. It really is.
It really is, man. I got to tell you too, there's one thing I wanted to mention. I forgot to mention this. I can't believe I forgot to mention this like weeks ago. I remember I have a really good memory when I see like statuses and like, you know what I mean? Like people posting stupid shit. I remember at the beginning of the basketball season when people were saying, get Jordan Miller off the floor. He doesn't know what he's doing or whatever, Oh my God.
Oh boy.
Those fools, man. Those fools.
So those are the same people that will say that, a certain football player doesn't need to play. You know what I mean? It's just those people just love to complain about nothing because they're just hoping to be right.
Well, and I think it's like people just hate to be wrong, even if they are wrong. Like with the whole Coach L situation, him getting, the extension, taking this team to the Sweet 16. They don't want to be wrong, so they say, "Oh, it's the new athletic director,"
Right. Which,
like,
yeah, okay.
No,
but anyways,
okay.
Yeah. So I know we talked about this earlier. I don't know if anybody else knows it, but Miami has never made it to an Elite Eight.
No, they have not.
So hopefully this will be our first year in the Elite Eight. That would be great.
Yeah. The only thing I'm going to say though is because I've seen a lot of people on Twitter saying, "Oh, we're playing an 11 seed." Well, an 11 seed beat a 3 seed. And they beat a decent. I know LSU got rid of their head coach, and that really does affect a team. But they're still, a decent team, and they were ranked in the top 25 for a good amount of the season. You can't take it for granted, man.
Right.
Like look, I think Auburn took us for granted, and look what happened. So you gotta respect all opponents, but fear none. So.
Right, and this is a very seasoned team we got going on. I mean, these are seniors and juniors. Yeah,
I don't expect them to overlook anyone because
right.
This is more upperclassmen. This isn't a younger team, so
yeah.
But yeah,
I think that's also one of our advantages too. Because if I'm not mistaken,
for sure,
I thought I read somewhere like we're one of the oldest teams in the tournament or something like that altogether.
Yeah, I mean, I think definitely our starting lineup because you add in the rotation players and there's some younger guys, but like some of these dudes are have been playing for 6 years or so they are older. I think the youngest one is the youngest one's Isaiah Wong because I think he's 21 because he's a junior but a COVID sophomore,
right?
But everyone else, I think Cam McGussie's like 26 or something, like not 26, but like he's
Wardenberg's
up
about
there.
to get his AARP card. Just teasing, but no, yeah. I mean, I think that is helping us out in this tournament.
Oh, for sure, yeah, no, definitely. That veteran presence, and I think especially too having a veteran point guard, Charlie Moore, man. So I don't know where it came from, but I got to mention this. So there's some sort of show that my friend watches or something, and it's called Charlie Moore Outdoor. And so whenever Charlie Moore shoots a 3, like we lose our minds and he makes it and we're like Charlie Moore Outdoor. And I don't know why, but it became like a thing. So now like yesterday, they couldn't watch the game with me, but every time he hit hit a 3, it was like Charlie Moore effing Outdoor. Let's go.
I'm going to have to remember that. I'll be screaming that on Friday a lot.
I know. I was going to post it on Twitter, but people are going to be like, what is he talking about?
That's right. Well, tell them to watch the show and they'll figure it out. About 4240. And yeah, just tell them to check out 4240 on the Rewatch Squad. They'll find it. Or listen to it.
But yeah, man. So I got plans. I'm going to watch that game on Friday, watch the other games, part of March Madness. Love this time of year. Maybe go to the game on Sunday if we win. But yeah, I mean, they're in Chicago, so it's kind of far. But yeah, man, it's been a blast. Happy to be back. This was a great episode with you. Glad we could catch up on here. And yeah, looking forward to the next one. Hopefully it's sooner than later.
Yeah, like I said, we're going to I know we won't get one this week. No. This will be the one for this week. But we'll try again next Monday or Tuesday. And then we'll work on a set schedule because now I should have my schedule set now. I mean, I know I'm getting ready to get promoted, so it shouldn't tweak anymore, but I might not be getting off as early because I got to do all my paperwork and get everything wrapped up.
Yeah.
But and it sucks that, the time change and now I'm 3 hours behind everybody now. You and I are on the same time again. It's just
I know. Ridiculous. Thank goodness though that helps us.
For you, it helps, but for me, it doesn't. I don't like it.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it screws everything up for me.
Yeah.
But it's all good. I'm flexible.
Hey, let's go. But yeah, man, I'm excited to keep this thing rolling, get back into it. We got, spring game is going to come sooner than later, so we got to get back into that. Hopefully we still got more Canes basketball, Canes hoops, but yeah, man, I'm ready.
We will have the baseball, but we will also get after the spring game and everything. Of course, we're going to get with Chris, probably get Chris back on here, talk about it. Oh my God, I can't remember his name. Lucas' dad.
Max?
No.
Oh, Ryan.
Yeah, Ryan Raskin. We're going to get him on to talk about the Canes.
I'm sorry, Ryan. This guy's old and senile. I'm sorry.
I'm horrible with names. I tell everybody that. Horrible with names. I won't forget a face, but I'm horrible remembering names. But yeah, we're going to get him on because I've been talking with him. I want to get him back on the show. Maybe we'll do like a round table type thing. Have a bunch of people on. Why not?
Yeah.
I'll have the phones working. We'll get everybody calling in again and stuff. And yeah, I'm ready. Let's get back into it. Miami time.
All right, guys. Send it off, Caniacs.
Send it off. Ladies and gentlemen, don't forget to subscribe. Hit that follow button on Twitch. Hit that subscribe button on Twitter and YouTube. We are on all your major podcast platforms. Hit us up there. Also, don't forget to leave us a comment if you like it, you don't like it. Let us know what we're doing right, what we're doing wrong. And don't forget to check out Maddie's Student of the Game coming out later on this week. It will definitely be out before Friday.
I hope so. Otherwise,
it better be because the game's on Friday. But Other than that, man, we really appreciate you guys. Thank you very much for tuning in. Rewatch Squad, listening on the podcast. We love all you guys for real. I don't have anything else to say. You, Matt? Nope. Peace.
Nope.
Just like always about the U. Go Canes.
Go Canes.